Funtime Happy Hour. Stay tuned. Yo, welcome back. And here we are on the 26th episode of the 420 Lifestyle Show from the Cannabis Culture Lounge. That's right, we're open up here.
At 307 West Hastings in Vancouver.
I couldn't get that out. I was smoking. Yes, and welcome back, Carly. Good to see you.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
My primo co-host assistant here on the new show. Glad to have you. So, what's going on? It is the Mike Duffy and Friends Happy Fun Time Hour. That's right.
Dun, 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 dun. I'll show that picture off, too.
Jeremiah's going to throw up a picture on our, what do you mean, our Instagram account?
I'll show it to the
Cannabis Culture Instagram, is that your?
Yep. I can show the people at home, though.
Show the people at home our Happy Fun Time picture for Mike. Because it's just happy fun time. Yay. Oh, God.
I don't know how happy he is right now, though.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't use more of like the same background, but a picture of him all like sour. When he was like walking in the corridor, oh no.
The unhappy hour.
Or as I suggested, the picture of Dean Del Mastro in the background in cuffs and shackles being led into the paddy wagon. That was always good. It makes me wonder, when the cops were putting the shackles on him, and the cops, if old Dino didn't say something like, "Oh, is that necessary?" And the cop looked at him and probably said, "So we do that to all criminals. We do that to all convicted felons."
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, put him in his place. Shut the fuck up. That's right. That's going to be the title of another show. STFU.
Shut the fuck up.
That's right. Well, there'll be another show,
I
trust
can
me.
think about a lot of people we could talk about on that show.
I know, everybody's mind just went,
that would
God,
be a
that's
fun
good.
show.
Yeah, I know.
Got the picture of Happy Duffy up now.
Yay.
Happy Mike.
Sparkly
Happy
Mike.
time.
Sparkly Happy Mike. Fun time, happy time. I remember, like, God, a long time ago, watching Mike on TV on the news, thinking, man, this guy was like really good, authoritative and digging. He always seemed to have like the inside scoop, what was going on, unbiased, very unbiased opinion, from the media's perspective, lamestream media.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I think he was on the CTV 24-hour network. And I started to get really annoyed with him over time. He started to become a real conservative hack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he quickly got old and crusty, became an old curmudgeon.
Yeah, and he liked the conservatives a lot. Way too much, seemingly. He wasn't very independent as a journalist.
No, actually, yeah. Later on, he did. But prior to that, he was an award-winning journalist. Mm-hmm. And did break a lot of good stories and did some good work. But
yeah, he did have a good career at one time.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a hack.
Oh, he sold out. That's what happens when you sell out, especially if you sell out to the wrong party or the wrong group. What was that? I heard some.
Oh, that was just me setting something up.
Setting something up, eh? I think I know what, too.
The audience can't hear that, though.
Okay, good. That's a good thing. We got lots of stories. We've got...
it's going to be a good show.
I hope so.
It's going to be a happy
fun time.
hour.
Yeah, we've got tennis people. We've got kids reading emails. We've got videos on other stuff. What
love
else?
those
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, well that's right. I wanted to get that part. The new part coming up on the show. That's right. Tweets and twits. Because yeah, we're going to be pulling down stuff off of Twitter and sharing some of the tweets that we saw were relevant this week.
Yeah.
Compiling the database.
There's some good ones.
Oh, it just gets better and better. Who was it? I think it was. Well, there's Budsy. Hey, Buds. There was somebody on Twitter I was following that made a comment last week that, did anybody else get a warning from Twitter? They were tweeting too much. What? Yeah, Twitter kind of blew up with Duffy right stuff. I mean, I was like retweeting like literally like every 15, 18, 20 seconds. Because there was every time I looked at it, it was, oh my God, there was just tons and tons of, because it was people on the following the case.
Yeah.
So they're tweeting and then they're retweeting and it just went viral.
They started to think you were a spammer.
Well, that's what I didn't get one, no. But somebody I follow asked, did anybody else from tweeting too much Senate trial stuff? That was like they literally asked the question up on the Twitter account.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh, good thing I stopped. Oh, it was just. You'd be there all day.
Like, there's a term for it. They have a name for that. It's like Twitter jail or something like that. When you tweet too much and then you.
I believe that's what they asked. Did anybody else go to Twitter jail? I think that's exactly what the question was. Twitter jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So I didn't realize it was a thing. I forgot till you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Twitter jail. That's what it was. Did anyone else go to Twitter jail? Not me. I didn't answer. No, I'm touching that one. Just in case I get too close to jail. But where Harper and Duffy and the rest should be, in jail. Never mind Twitter, just in jail.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Twitter jail.
Oh, yeah.
Send these guys to the real thing.
Real jail. Speaking of, where's that other one that I put up there? Just for snicks. I'll give you a teaser, a taste, if I can find it. Hands on. Unless it got moved. No, here it is. Here's just a taste from Twitterverse. Tweets and twits. How many felons, election fraud artists, religious fanatics, and other assorted shady characters can you fit into Harper's Prime Minister's office before somebody calls the cops?
We still don't know the answer yet.
It's like, how many people can you fit in a Volkswagen, or you know?
It's like a clown car.
It's like a clown car.
Really is.
Yeah, it is. The Prime Minister's office is the criminal car.
Just clown car.
Criminal clowns. That's it.
Yes.
I tell you, it's pretty funny. There's been some. Too bad we don't have that to like put up, but there's been some amazing political cartoons.
Oh my gosh, there's a couple in the tweets and.
There is,
There's
yeah. People are
There has been some
retweeting
good
of
ones.
actual cartoons and images. Yeah.
I love election time because you get a lot of the fun stuff coming, and of course with the scandal happening, you get all the fun at once.
And you know what?
Exactly.
The scandal.
It's like it's more. It's double your fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so big this time. It's getting a lot of coverage. It's like really taking over Twitter, not just in terms of Canada, you know? Like it's getting attention internationally.
Well, it's funny, there's a trial going on that has implications for the Prime Minister's office at the same time the election's going on.
I know.
It's a weird thing for Harper to call it early, but I think he was realizing it's going to damage him the longer he doesn't call it.
Well, it was I don't think he couldn't win either way. It was a lose-lose situation on Harper.
Well,
and it was, but the reason, as originally reported, if you had to flip a coin, you're going to rely on the side of, but we have more money. Yeah. That was the tipping point. We'll call it early. If they didn't have more money, no, we're not calling it early.
I think part of it, too, I've noticed that a lot of people seem to be drawing the conclusion that with all the Duffy stuff going on, all this scandal going on, he's doing and saying all these crazy things that are, for the really hardcore conservatives, getting their vote. And for everyone else, he's trying to distract them from what's going on. You know, he's going and he's rallying against marijuana, and every normal person is like, what?
Yeah, he's
what
saying
is he
some
doing?
outrageous things.
And then they don't realize
Activating
what's
his
going on.
base. But yeah, I noticed, it's funny you mention it because I think you're right. He's saying more outrageous things. He's saying the opposite of the truth more. It's like he's taking Hitler and Goebbels' advice that the big lie is the one that gets all the attention. It's the biggest one that, you know, if you want people to believe you as a crazy conservative, you have to basically say the opposite of the truth.
And yeah,
Marijuana hurts people and nobody wants it. It's the exact opposite of the truth. And it's kind of, he goes further than he's gone before.
But all of those like people who are crazy and actually are still in the dark and still think that way are like, yeah, he's the only one
he's
who
playing to his
sees it,
base.
you know?
That's just playing to the base. That's all it is.
But he's
Because
it's
according
well timed. It is well timed, but it's also very transparent.
He's a master at this.
well,
These
you know,
guys are
I've
good.
got the. But here's the thing: you can only if you change your story. After a while, it catches up with you. Now, today, as of today, and I've got the timeline here on the drive that tells us that now Harper has changed his story about when he knew and what he knew about this whole business of the check 9 times since May of 2013. 9 times he's changed his story since May of 2013 because it's in Hansard. They've got news transcripts. They've got him speaking, you know, and he doesn't speak unscripted. They've got him speaking and giving out statements, and those are scripted statements. That is evidence. You cannot say, "Oh, well, I was just speaking from, you know, my." No,
memory,
he's speaking from what do you call it? The teleprompter. Yeah. Yes, and
It was
that's
a team of
official.
people that
That's
decided
official
that.
documents.
Oh, there's nothing that this guy doesn't script.
So, you know, I'm desperately hoping he gets called to court. You know, I mean, the fact it's
Good
almost
luck, though.
laughable
Good luck.
at this point to say that, you know, he could claim parliamentary privilege for like absolute criminal outdoings. That's like saying, oh, well, they have diplomatic immunity. You can go out and do as you and break the law. I don't think that should apply to the leader of the country.
Well, just like Nixon said, when the president does it, it's not illegal.
Yeah, yeah. Famous Tricky Dicky quote.
Yeah.
This is true. I forgot about that. I'm old enough. I know that. Yeah. You had to study. I heard it live on television.
Yeah, that's true. I never saw. I didn't see that clip.
See that?
Saw the
I watched
rerun.
it on the news, man.
That's
Yeah, like.
Didn't he say that in one of his secret tapes? Like they had, you know, eventually his tapes came out.
Yeah,
and
it
had
was
him
in the
saying-
exposing
Yeah.
of the. Yeah.
When the
What? No, he
president
didn't
does
say
it,
it in a press
not
conference.
illegal.
No, he didn't say it in a press conference. No.
But I mean, knowing Nixon,
The
he's not
president
far
wants to
off.
let everybody know.
Bush said it in a press conference, though.
Yeah, Bush probably did. I can do
Jeb
what
Bush
I
definitely
want. I
has.
can do as I please. They sure fucking act like it.
And Bush said, "Let's torture people," in a press conference, and that's good. When the president tortures people, it's not illegal.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
But everybody thought, oh, Bush just is like misspeaking again because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause he was
underestimating him.
Yeah, he was always getting his, you know, putting his foot in his mouth. Nobody really knew what he was saying. I think that was the problem. Nobody knew what he was saying. He played dumb, and it was like, they think I'm an idiot. They have no idea.
I'm not so
Fool-
sure.
fool
he
me
was
once.
playing
He said,
that
I think they sat around when he got, you know, and they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We need one bozo to sort of take the fall. And if you play it well,
He's just
you won't
daddy's-
get any blame.
Have you
Because
seen The
everyone will just
Candidate,
sum
the
it up to
movie?
he's too stupid.
You know, though, I love the one where he's like, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again."
Yeah.
He, like, forgets what it
yeah,
is.
and he stumbled. And yeah, it was so funny.
There's so many Bush gaffes that are just classic.
It is. It's hilarious.
There's a really funny video, actually, that we should play on the show one time. And it's somebody, you know, it was played around a lot before, but they took the State of the Union address by Bush one time, like during his presidency,
Oh.
and they clipped it up.
I think
And it's
I've
like-
seen that one.
And it's like talking about Iraq, and there's one clip where he's like, "And tonight I have a message for the people of Iraq. Go home and die." It's kind of like what Bush really means to say. Yeah, it's pretty good.
The shadow of him talking behind him. Here's what Bush said. Here's what he really said. Here's what he meant. The translation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got something similar to that on the show later. Carly's heating up the nail. The time is getting close. I have, oh good, there's weed in here still.
Oh, is it? Oh, I need to get a bowl ready too then.
There you go, the bong ripper. Here, I'll fill this bowl.
Oh, thank you. What's this we're smoking? You said it was Grape God?
Yeah, we're smoking some Grape God today on the show. This is probably a good time to let everybody know, by the way. I have an official retraction last week. Yes, I mentioned that 3 Happy Cats sends out weed, and that's... No, I made a mistake. It's BudBuddy.biz that sponsors the weed portion of the show, the weed giveaway. And the 3 Happy Cats, yes, they just sponsor the show.
They just smoke the weed.
Yeah. Well, no, they're a medicinal dispensary, but no, they sponsor the show. Like,
Yes.
pay my wages.
No, 3 Happy Cats isn't actually allowed to send weed to people.
No. So we just needed to clarify that. The official retraction and correction. That's what it is. We made a correction from last week. Mark, put it on the permanent record. How was that?
It was really good.
They took from the shatter side.
Yeah, I did.
I don't blame you.
What type is this here?
I can't remember. I took it from the cupboard.
Well, it's tasty.
I have...
It's a really nice consistency.
might it be a watermelon?
I like
possible.
the consistency. It's like one of the gooey ones, but it's easy to break off.
Happy
Happy
420.
420.
Light them up. Mike Duffy looks like he's been smoking a few.
Mike Duffy wishes he was smoking a few, probably.
Yeah, I think he probably feels like he's being partially vindicated by seeing Nigel Wright's testimony and how bullshit floppy it is. Nigel Wright is an obvious scumbag of the lowest, dirt level, in the ground scumbag, deep in some scummy
Nigel Wright's a
pond somewhere.
lawyer.
Yeah.
So, and, there's no shortage of scumbag lawyers.
Yeah.
There's good lawyers, and then there's scumbag lawyers.
There's a few, yeah.
Yeah, Nigel's up there in this... Well, you go to work at the Conservative Party of Canada, yeah, you're a scumbag. Harper's right-hand man, excuse me, handpicked. Like, oh, wait, Bruce Carlson? Oh, yeah, that's scumbag. Or what about that other scumbag that recently died in a Mexican jail, who the head of CSIS, who was wanted on a warrant that Harper appointed? What was his name?
Head of CSIS?
Or not CSIS, but the head of some sensitive issue play in Canada, and then he went down there and ended up in a jail, and he was facing...
Oh.
And then Harper abandoned him down there. I did a story on it a couple shows back.
I need to read that story.
Well, yeah.
What about Harper's... How about the ambassador of the embassy, the Jordan embassy?
Oh, they got outed?
They're shipping brides to ISIS or something. You see that story?
Oh, missed that one.
Oh, man, this was... I keep talking about it on the show because it's one of these remarkable pieces of news that just kind of disappeared. But there was an article in the National Post and I believe the Ottawa Citizen saying that the ambassador of the Jordan embassy, who was handpicked by Harper as the ambassador, who was Harper's former bodyguard, was implicated by a police informant and a person saying that he was given immunity to travel to and from the Middle East, and he had the immunity, and this is how they proved it. He was traveling to and from the Middle East with full immunity, diplomatic immunity, and shuttling brides to ISIS from the UK. Yes.
Nice.
Ottawa Citizen. Our Prime Minister's handpicked guy, and still the ambassador of Jordan. What happened to that article? It's gone. Disappeared.
Oh, yeah. No, they take that
story
stuff
just
down,
disappeared.
man.
I'm going to look that up. I'm not bullshitting.
No, I totally believe you. I think, actually, I kind of remember hearing something about that.
It's one of those remarkable stories that just nobody follows up on in our government, in our shitty, cowardly press.
It's so funny, too, because all the other bullshit stories, you could sit there and flip through the 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock news, whatever, 11 o'clock news. And it's like the same, literally, they're almost repeating the story word for word on every channel. Like the guy sitting like, my job talking to the camera is literally repeating it word for word almost from what the guy on the other channel said. It's crazy. And then when it comes to a good story, nobody repeats it. They're
Yeah.
really good at parroting and repeating everything else. It's like parrots and mynah birds until something good comes along and they all fucking shut the fuck up. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more nasty stuff that our government's involved in when it comes to military intelligence that we don't know anything about because it's all covered up due to national security. And unfortunately, Canada is deep in that shit, just like the U.S. is. It's right next to us. And so our government gets fully involved in all these false flag and all this other stuff that the U.S. government does.
Well, it does with
maintain
Harper.
their power.
Yeah. And that's that whole, I mean, that's that part of the whole, oh, you won't recognize Canada when I'm done with it attitude, right? Oh, no, we're going to go down a different road than the traditional road that Canada is known for. I mean, this is the way I've read this the last 10 years of Harper government has been just, that was his thing. He wants to, from all the stuff I've read, he has a serious hate for the Liberal Party from shit that happened a long time ago, and he's never got over it. They wanted to, his goal is to destroy the Liberal Party. He wants to see the Liberal Party wiped out. That's his goal. And he wants to he wants close ties to the United States, and with that TPP thing and all that as well as part of it. You know, it started with Mulroney and the free trade thing, which kind of ties into conservative visions, but Harper's taking it a whole nother level. He wants to tie in the American lifestyle and make it like one big. Oh, we'll just I'm sure if he figured he could get away with it, they'd start floating the idea of let's just call it America. You know, like one big North America and drop Canada. We'll just all be North America, one country. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, and have the same, like one military, one police. That's the vision of that whole. You know, this is every time I've ever heard of the term, globalization. That's what I think about. Not global freaking trade. I think in global military and police shit and global fucking government. And there already is global world banking where they're controlling all the money everywhere. And that takes it right back to Rocco Galati, constitutional lawyer, or not a constitutional, he's a lawyer in Montreal who's been suing the Canadian government on behalf of a private suit to restore Canadians' Banking Act to what it was pre-1974.
Yeah. And
they've named the International Monetary Fund and some other groups as trying to manipulate Canada's banking and system and our money.
Yeah.
Since then, and he recently just won a big a section of part of that trial.
Yeah, it's been
he got a
really
good ruling on that.
Follow.
Yeah.
But it hasn't. It needs to be more in the mainstream media. Again, it's like one of those things where it's like that's a huge deal, and that's a really, really awesome thing, and that should be talked about way more than it is. And it's an interesting thing to talk about.
They don't want to rat out their friends.
No, and it's like, as a reporter, I go in and I go, hey, listen, I got this story from, Rocco Galati. And as soon as you mention that, you got an editor who's like, yeah, okay, well, here, we're going to send you over to cover that. Write up what you got. We'll look at that for later, da-da-da-da-da. They just, that's how it's worked in the big mainstream media. Here again, you got to understand, the big media is corporate media. So they're going to be supported by corporate interests.
Yep. And
that's the way it works.
I read Glenn Greenwald's new book, or the one about the Snowden documents and all that stuff. And the thing that I took away from that was that, and good journalists that work in this industry know that are trying to get the truth out there, the mainstream press can be your enemy. They can take your information from you and bury it and hide it and basically, they do this to journalists. They'll say, oh yeah, we want to publish a story. And then they buy the rights or they steal the story essentially and bury it forever.
Yeah. Or they'll come to us, like quite often I know that people in the pod community, they come to us, we comment on stuff, and then they completely misconstrue our shit when they get the story out. They totally, and people who know us laugh and they go, they read it and they go, Opus would never have said that. And they don't know what they completely fucked up everything you tell them.
Oh yeah. No, it's scary out there for the journalists who are really trying to do a good job because the editors are the ones blocking it from getting
exactly, which is what I said. You got a guy above them and they're answering to higher ups who get answered to by shareholders. Yeah, it all goes down. Like I say, it's run by shareholders. Excuse me. They don't give a shit what they report as long as they get paid their dividends. As long as the dividends get more, it's an investment, not
it's a conflict
an
of interest, in my opinion.
Right, of course it is.
But it's funny. Back in the day, it used to be that individuals own newspapers. So like a guy would own a newspaper, and it would be run by the family. The family estate would own the paper, like Hearst or whoever. But what you get with those is more eccentric personalities based more around one person's idea. Now you
Huffington
get
Post.
So yeah, the Huffington Post. Yeah, well there you go.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure what is better, if one is better than the other, if you having one guy in charge of the whole thing is better, or having a team of shareholders in charge. But I think in the end, it really comes down to the idea of having a multiplicity of them. So you don't just go to one place for information. You go to all these different places,
Absolutely.
and then you get a better opinion.
Well, this is why the internet is so popular now, and why.
See, for the most part, I will normally trust something that has a few people working behind it, because then I know that it's seen, gone across a couple desks and more than one person has seen it. So I know the information is more reliable, but there are definitely a few sources that
you got to look at motives.
There are exceptions, yeah, absolutely.
You got to look at the motives. If you look at CNN, and you see all the people who are advertising for them, and they're all oil companies and energy companies and all these things, then you know that's who controls them.
Or drug companies.
Drug companies, whoever it is. If you look at some of these other, the press the alternative press who doesn't have to bow down to those people to survive, then they're able to say some of the other things. But what you get, unfortunately, in the progressive media is a bunch of groups that are then basically under the thumb of the people who have the foundations and the government who gives away the grants for those media organizations. The money's got to come from somewhere. So that's always the dilemma with media. Where's the money coming from? How are you going to do it? People don't want to pay for information. They want it for free. So you got to either get it from an advertiser or from the government or from a foundation.
Yeah.
And even groups that you believe in, like Democracy Now!, Amy Goodman and all that, who I love, think it's one of the best news programs out there. Well, they take money from the Ford Foundation, who's a CIA-linked foundation that's been involved in, espionage and military intelligence for years. So it makes you wonder sometimes the whole idea of 1984, where even our most progressive media still gets its money from the government in a way. So are even the furthest progressive media under the thumb of those people? The same bad guys, the Emmanuel Goldsteins, like in 1984. In 1984, the book, which is about surveillance and everything.
Oh yeah, Orwell's.
In the end of the book, I hate to spoil it for you, but in the end of the book, the leader of the good guys is actually working for the bad guys, and he's actually the leader of the bad guys as well. They convince you that he's the leader of the good guys, like Noam Chomsky. But you notice Noam Chomsky only goes so far every time and never goes any further, and he works at MIT.
It's so funny you mention that, because there's an article here that I was looking at, and I'm just looking in my thing to try to find that part, and they bring in the exact reference to 1984. It's used in a recent article I just finished reading. I thought I had it in here.
That book is so full of secret hidden truths.
84?
84, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Eric Blair, the person who wrote it, George Orwell is a pseudonym. He worked for the BBC at the time.
I didn't know that.
He was writing it about himself. He's Winston in the story, throwing stuff down the memory hole at the BBC, making people not remember the past and rewriting history to what the government wants it to be now. It's a pretty remarkable book. If you haven't read it, I advise every human being to read that book a few times.
Yeah.
I think it also has the secret to our political system at the very end of it as well. Why do we have a fascist government? Why do we always come back to an evil, weird government? It's because people are emotional beings, and there's some of them who are sadistic. And unfortunately, the most emotional and sadistic people end up becoming the presidents, because they're the zealous ones. They're the ones who go to the distance. They're the ones who care the most about shit. Normal people don't really care that much. Fuck, they want to relax. Only the crazy motherfuckers really get so into it that they need to control everything, and then they end up getting in power. And they want to put their fucking boot in your face because they like the feeling of it, because it's their emotional, release that they get. That's 1984. They love putting their boot in your face. Put the rat cage on you.
That ties into our good friend Russell Barth. and who's often accused Harper of having a punishment fetish.
Oh, sure. I don't doubt it.
He gets his jollies from, seeing people suffer.
I believe that that's truly what a lot of this stuff is. These guys, they don't give a fuck. They just want their cash. But, you know, how do you, even if you're a bad person and you, like, are living high on the horse, you got to think it's a little weird that you know you're hurting people all the time and you don't care and you're just getting money from it. That's psychotic behavior.
I know. Well, especially you compare it to guys like Richard Branson.
Yeah, who wants to help people.
Like a complete 180-degree polar opposite of somebody with money and power and influence, and look what they go out and do, as opposed to Wall Street billionaires who hide in a glass tower. You never see them, and their companies are doing just terrible things to the environment, and
right.
They outsource jobs. They don't put in. They take. They're not putting in.
It's called limited liability and a lack of personal responsibility. You know, like I was saying before, the reason that you might want to trust the old newspapers that were run by one crazy guy is because one crazy guy has a conscience more than a board of soulless directors do who aren't going to get in trouble for the things they do. The company gets in trouble. Well, the company can't go to jail. You know, Richard Branson can actually have an image problem, suffer for it, and have to pay for his crimes. You know, some faceless board of directors doesn't have to pay for their crimes.
Yeah, that was that ruling where corporations can't be held responsible thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just put everything in corporations. Wasn't me.
Yeah, that's in the U.S. right now.
Yeah, it's been that way for a long time in the U.S. Long time, decades, couple decades.
13th Amendment, I think.
Yeah,
a corporation is a person. Lawyers argued for a corporation to become a person. And so now a corporation can be said, well, the corporation did it, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how it works.
But a corporation, if it's a person, is a pretty bad fucking person because it has no soul and doesn't go to, it doesn't
how do
feel
you
bad when it
punish?
does a
How
crime.
do you punish if it's a person? People can be punished. How do you punish a corporation?
Yeah.
Well, you can't put the
jail.
corporation in jail. But what I'd like to see, they should have, well, you know how they're always putting in amendments. Yeah. So it'd be nice if somebody had you know how you see sometimes in movies where they, well, here, staple this to the back page, and they probably won't read it. Because nobody's going to read through the whole freaking...
That's funny.
Right? And you see it in movie plots all the time in that political... I think it was on House of Cards. They pulled that one on a House of Cards on Netflix. Anyhow,
they do shit like that all the time. They don't.
Yeah.
The people that are making these decisions don't read the fucking paperwork.
No.
They don't read the bills. Are you
kidding
me?
So they put it on the back cover, hide it in there. Or like these omnibus bills that Harper throws in, same type of thing. Nobody's reading the fine print.
No, they have lawyers that read that shit. The celebrity MPs themselves don't do anything like that.
But no
they're
lawyer
just the
reads
talents.
all of it. They all read parts. It's so freaking big. Everybody's working on a section. So one hand doesn't know what the other's really doing overall, and it just becomes,
Compartmentalization. It's how you get people to do bad things. Because they feel like, hey, man, it wasn't me. I was just part of this big group.
Well, I did what I was told,
like
and I
mob
didn't
mentality.
see this wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
My part was okay.
Well, it reminds me of the Vancouver City bylaw stuff that's happening.
Yeah, no kidding.
What?
The Vancouver City bylaws for the dispensaries.
What are those?
What are what are those?
What are
Good
those?
question. We're not so sure.
Well, I don't know. What was the laws are meant to be challenged. Laws are meant to be broken. As a good citizen, it's your duty to challenge unjust laws.
Yes, it
Were
is.
you there, Mick, when we talked about the cops having their own set of rules for the dispensaries now?
No. Well, maybe. Yeah. Well, part of it. Yeah.
So the cops have their own set of rules, and that what they said at the information session was that the dispensary owners had to follow the MMPR rules and get MMPR notes from doctors in order to give to people. That's what the cops said at the meeting. But then when we challenged him, he backpedaled and said, well, maybe just how it is now, I guess. I don't know. I'm the cop running it. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm running it, and I don't know anything about it. That's let's just get those. That's a quote we should have. We should have that quoted. I'm running it, and I don't know anything about it.
We did get some video.
That's
of
a
that.
great thing
Still
to
don't
say.
have a copy of that.
I want that on. That should be just like. I want that as like a GIF or a JPEG type thing that I can
Just like a video
I was-
that just...
I was
just
paraphrasing
loop.
there,
Just
just
keep
so you
looping
know.
that. I'm running. Some cop standing there going, "I'm running it, and I don't know what the fuck anything
I was
about
paraphrasing.
it." Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Well, we'll be able to
No, yeah.
I do have video of that cop looking
Editing.
confused.
Editing, buddy,
Very
editing.
clever. Yeah, we can do some creative editing there.
That's good. Yeah, I'm
I need
running
to
it. And
smoke
I don't know
some
anything
weed. Can
about
I have a
it.
dab? You have dabs over there?
No.
Dude, there's shit on the table.
I want a dab.
Come on over and enjoy.
The dab doll,
let's-
Carly Marley.
I wanted to read down some of this timeline of Harper changing his story 9 times.
Oh, yeah.
So I can
That's
give you some of
fun.
that. I just
9
want
times,
to
wow.
share some of that. There's another good article I was looking at in here too. Here's a great. I won't get into this one, but this title. This one was "From Regret to Deception: How Harper's View of Nigel Wright Changed." All right, here's how things looked in May of 2013. May 14th, CTV News reveals that Wright gave Duffy money. Journalist Robert Fife breaks the news that Wright secretly intervened to help Duffy repay his expenses while external audit was ongoing. All right. The next day, Harper's office confirms Wright cut Duffy a check for $90,000. Oh, you're coming for dab.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not interrupting. Dab. Harper's spokesperson at the time, Andrew McDougall, whatever, releases a statement saying that Duffy agreed to repay his expenses but was unable to make a timely repayment. Therefore, Wright wrote a check from his personal account for the full amount owing so that Duffy could repay the outstanding amount. That's the statement as it read. That's reported to us by CTV. On the 16th of May 2013, Duffy resigns from the Conservative caucus. He quits the Tory caucus after the Canadian Press's Jennifer Ditchburn revealed that submitted travel expense claims to the upper chamber on days when he was campaigning for Tories in the 2011 election. Also on that day, May 16th, Harper's office expresses full confidence in Nigel Wright. With the scandal heating up, McDougall tells CBC News Wright enjoys the full confidence of Mr. Harper. You're welcome. On the 17th, Harper's office reiterates full confidence in Wright. On the 19th, Harper says he accepts Wright's resignation with great regret. Wright releases a statement announcing the Prime Minister has accepted his resignation as Chief of Staff. Harper also releases the following statement. And this is Harper's words that he released. It is with great regret that I have accepted the resignation of Nigel Wright as my Chief of Staff. I accept that Nigel believed he was acting in the public interest, but I understand the decision he has taken to resign. I want to thank Nigel for his tremendous contribution to our government over the past 2.5 years. All right, but then things changed in October. This was in May, so now in October, a few months later after the summer, Harper says he dismissed Wright. Well, there's a change right.
When did that happen?
I know Buds is right underneath me here. Oh, they see the Buds is Budsy.
Is there a bud cam?
Buds. Let's come up here for a minute. There you are. All right.
Hello, beautiful.
He doesn't want to be up.
He's like, okay, and that's that.
All right. Then Harper contradicts what he said in May by telling radio station News 95.7 Halifax that he dismissed Wright for writing the check. And Harper said, I think the responsibility whenever things go wrong is for us to take appropriate action, Harper said, according to a transcript from journalist David Aiken. As you know, I had a chief of staff who made an inappropriate payment to Mr. Duffy. He was dismissed. Direct contradiction. It's like, and it's so obvious.
But nobody's listening or paying attention, you know?
On October 29th, 2013, Harper accuses Wright of deception. So it's gone from full confidence to just, hey.
He's really throwing him under the bus, huh?
Oh, big time.
It was him, not me. This guy was a real scumbag working for
Harper-
me. I didn't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah. He completely disowned him under fire and question period. Mr. Speaker, once again, on our side, there is one person responsible for this deception, and that person is Mr. Wright by his own admission, Harper said. For that reason, Mr. Wright no longer works for us. November of 2013, the Conservative-dominated Senate voted to suspend Duffy, Pamela Wallin, and Patrick Brazeau without pay for the remainder of the parliamentary session. The suspended senators returned to the public payroll after Parliament was dissolved by the election call earlier this month. How does that work? They're back getting money again? Oh, my God.
Yeah. Get
All
money,
right.
get money.
So you can see how, like, Harper just keeps... story just keeps changing and changing and changing.
It always does, though, with these fucking guys.
That's why they got to get him on the stand and, like, because that's like, well, we have... You said, what's the deal? Which one was it? Which one was it? Did you fire him or not?
They're not getting him on the stand.
Well, there is a short window where he actually, because of the early election call, and I talked about this last week, where he is available to be called.
Really?
And he cannot claim parliamentary privilege.
Really?
Yes.
So, but isn't it up to Duffy's lawyers or something?
It's up to Bain.
Ah. So, do you think...
And we'll see. Well, I don't know.
I thought it was a no-go.
I'm waiting. Well, probably is a no-go. But we'll see.
Well,
One of the cool things, though...
That's cool that there's a window, at least.
Yes.
That's good.
And but what I like even better than that was recently saw some article that was buried saying that Harper is basically offended people by going up to the north.
Offended the Northerners?
Northerners were not happy.
Well, everybody hates Harper.
Because he ran away from questions about they see it as he just ran away from this whole Duffy Senate thing.
Yeah, he did.
Went north, and they call him on it. And there's like I guess there's sort of an underlying feeling of betrayal and just, that's just like, it almost like puts the exclamation point on your bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of badly, like a bad symbolism. That was a fail on the Prime Minister's
Huge.
part.
It looked bad. He should have went to Ottawa. He should have, he
Stood
could have
up like
done
a
anything
man.
else. He could have hung out somewhere much more accessible.
Yeah, running away to the north and like bundling up in a big coat and gloves and hiding with a fucking scarf and goggles.
Exactly. Helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All bundled up.
Go hide.
Go hide in his big suit.
I saw
Snowsuit.
a funny editorial cartoon. I don't know if we have it in the tweets or not, but was Harper, and he's in a bubble. And he's looking, and it's like, oh, so how's the campaign going, Mr. Harper? And he's looking over at his aide, and he goes, can I get my bubble tinted?
No shit.
It's a bunch of press in front of it,
That's
right?
funny.
You know, when Harper...
Can I get my bubble tinted?
The only time that I've seen Harper in person... No, twice now I've seen him in person, actually. Once I was in the House of Parliament, and I saw him there. When he was getting grilled by Tom Mulcair and everybody.
And I'm wondering if you're
Duffy
the same
scandal.
second time is what I'm thinking.
Second time was here in the city of Vancouver when he was at the Science World.
I saw
he drove
that.
by
I was there.
in his limo.
I
and
almost spit on the
He
car.
stopped. The limo stopped right in front of us, and he looked right at us through the window, and we could see right through the
With
tinted
Christy
windows.
Clark and leaving or coming or going?
Leaving.
Leaving. That's when he ran over the bicycle.
Yeah, they ran over the bike.
Yeah, he hit the bicycle, smashed up one of our friends'
and
bikes.
They just tore it up and took off.
Yeah, but they got reimbursed for the money. They got covered. But still, hit a
But
bicycle,
Harper,
just
he
kept
stared.
going.
He looked right at me and Jody and you and everybody that was standing there, and we had our signs, and we were like shouting right at him.
I was literally as close to Christy Clark sitting in the back seat as I am to Carly right now.
Yeah, we could have
Because
punched
the
him.
car was that far away from me, and Christy Clark was here, and Harper was on the other side, the further side away, on the driver's side as it went by me, and I was like, I'm
not advocating
oh,
violence.
I so wanted to spit on the car, and I thought, no, I'm going to get tackled.
No,
I'm going
can't
to
do negative things.
No, I didn't.
That would be bad.
No, I did give her the finger though.
Oh, did you?
Oh, fuck yeah!
Well, that's all right.
I gave her a good
that seems
hearty
fair enough to
fuck
me.
you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she deserved it.
I mean, I don't advocate
Christy
violence,
Clark, she's
but
the head of the
tell him to go
conservative
fuck himself
farm
isn't so
club.
bad. Yeah.
That's the farm team. She's the coach of the farm team, conservative farm team. BC Liberals, nothing
Crusty Cluck.
but conservative wannabes.
I'm not a fan. She is a
Red Tories is what they
She's
are.
a radio personality.
Yeah, she's a radio personality. You know what my dad said? He was here. He goes, your premier here, what's her name? And I went, Christy Clark. And he goes, yeah. He says, I saw her on the news. She's very well spoken.
Yeah,
She must have some.
She's
some,
a communications
some
major.
blah, blah. You must have some background in. I went, yeah, Dad. She's a radio. Oh, that explains it. Yeah. He said,
Yeah, she probably went to school for that.
Oh yeah, no, she's a good speaker. I won't deny that, but that doesn't make her a good politician.
Oh,
or maybe it does.
No, or doesn't make her a good person.
Yeah.
Which is more important, and she's not.
Or it doesn't make her somebody who actually, like she proclaims, to know what people want or how to run things either. That is like.
Well, she knows what the corporations want.
Oh yeah.
She knows what her liberal.
That's all she needs to
in
know.
Quotes.
That's
the
all she
liberal
needs to know.
Government of this province is much more like the conservative government than the liberal government.
That's what I was saying. That's what I didn't.
Yeah, they're fucking conservatives. These people are horrible. They're like, what's his name? The guy before Campbell, or not Campbell?
Oh, yeah, Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Clark.
Glenn Campbell.
Wait, Christy Clark. Wait.
No, there's Glenn Clark was the NDP leader, but there was Gordon Campbell.
Gordon Campbell. That's the one
The
I'm
drunk.
talking about. Yeah,
The guy who went to Hawaii
the
and drove
driver.
drunk in Hawaii
Yeah,
and
not
got
just
busted.
a drunk. Ralph Klein's a drunk.
Yeah.
Campbell's a drunk driver. Yeah, no, he was a real piece of work. But these guys were like George Bush. They're like, they hang with those guys. That's their buddies.
That's exactly what they do.
They brought Bush here.
Yeah.
And Cheney and Rumsfeld.
And they brought the DEA here.
Yeah, they did.
They did to
Even
Vancouver
worse.
and everything else, and they support that whole U.S. cops in Canada thing. They totally support that shit.
Yeah,
that's what they're
I
all
think
about.
they hang out.
Next time there's a provincial election, start asking your
They
elected MPs, the incumbents, how they feel about U.S. cops working in British Columbia.
Yeah, they're right here.
And then if they go, oh, that's a federal issue, yeah, one of those again.
No.
Can't hide that way. We still want an opinion. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do these guys slough it off by saying, well, it's a federal issue? I don't give a shit. That wasn't the answer the question, asshole.
Yeah, no, it's brutal.
That was a tweet, too.
They all hang out together on Jimmy Pattison's boat.
Exactly. Jimmy, God boy. You know that he's a hardcore churchgoer.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. You work for Jim Pattison, you better be going to church on Sunday, boy.
He's devout, is he?
Yes.
Dave, did you see the clip of Trump saying...
Which one? God, I can't. That's just hysterical.
That's
that
an
is
open
hysterical.
question. That's an open question.
He wants to beat up black people. I forget.
No, there's
I'll beat up any hecklers. Come on, my stage.
About the Bible, he goes, my second favorite book is... my book, How to Make a Deal, or whatever his fucking book is called. And he's like, what my first one is? The Bible. And he goes like that, sticks his thumbs up, and makes the most like, oh my God.
Like
he's
people
a
are going to
fucking-
cheer.
Literally,
soliciting
he's like a
cheers.
used car
the Bible
salesman.
to sell his book.
Yeah. No, he is a fucking used car
what a
salesman.
hack. What a hack.
The guy is such a scumbag, too. Like, I don't mind saying that about Trump. He is a scumbag.
He's a total
But-
scumbag.
But we're throwing that word around a lot. But he's probably on the level of, sliding scale of 1 to 10 on the scumbag scale.
But
think of all the other Republican candidates. And are they more scumbag or less than Trump? You tell me.
Well, all I know is today, scumbag is the happy Funtime word of the day.
Ding, 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 ding. I think the only one better than Trump is probably Rand Paul.
We keep missing it.
Yeah.
We keep doing it at the wrong
Well, because I'm looking at him talking all the time. You should be
wait.
almost sitting over
Wait.
here, dude.
Ding, ding, ding.
1, 2, 3.
Where's my photo?
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Megan, you're missing it.
That
You'll get it next time.
Corey Tripp Peterson.
You're working. Okay.
Next week I'll be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our resident photographer and lounge
worker.
employee.
Yes, and a new Pot TV, or I guess she's a cannabis culture / Pot TV. I don't know, we gotta think of a
Megan,
title
yeah,
for her.
she's
Editor of
working
some
for.
sort.
She does more. She does way more than she's like to say employee. I was going to
Just hired
say
her for 10
bomb
hours a
tender,
week
but
in my
she's
department.
much more than that. She's a employee.
Stoner
She's also in
Advisory,
charge of
Megan.
social media on Instagram and
Yeah,
she
she's gonna
does
be doing a lot
photography
more
work
stuff.
and other good stuff. She was actually taking pictures behind the scenes. That's why I said, but she's serving customers. So I was like, hey, you missed it because we're
Not at this
doing
point.
the Buddy Jesus 2 thumbs up thing. That's what that reminds me of. Buddy Jesus from the movie.
Buddy Jesus, yeah. Yes. Isn't that a Kevin Smith movie?
I think so.
Dogma or
don't
something?
know that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's from Dogma. Or not Kevin Smith. No, what's it? Affleck.
Well, he's in it.
But was it Kevin Smith wrote it?
Kevin Smith, he writes and directs. Yeah, he wrote Dogma.
Did he? Yeah. That was a good movie.
It's a funny, weird.
Buddy
You gotta kind of
Jesus.
know a bit about religion and
It's just funny as
Christianity.
hell.
Kevin Smith is a funny guy, though.
So, Opus, I brought you a present this week.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You did,
yeah,
too.
I did.
What do we got? Carly brought
have-
something special.
I did bring something special. I brought some very potent brownies that I've
Get
made.
the brownie cam.
Yeah.
Brownie cam here.
Brownie cam.
Pass
She
them
made
over.
these yesterday, all night last night.
There's much better
Brownie
pictures
cam.
of all of them with more designs on them on my Instagram,
Oh, why not go to that?
which is Carly Marley.
How's that working
It's
there?
a
But-
pot leaf and a peace sign.
Yeah, they're fun. I'm going to a staff party tonight, and
She's gonna
everyone
get her
knows
staff people
I'm
high.
kind of, pot girl.
Stoner.
They know I smoke a lot of weed. So they suggested I bring pot brownies for them to all get high. So I made
Very
these
nice.
brownies, and they're pretty strong. But I wanted you to try them and
Oh.
tell me how potent you think they are, and if you think they're effective.
I will
You know,
be happy
give me a
to.
judgment. Give me a judgment.
I'll eat one right now. See if I get through to the end of the show. We got a
Yeah.
little over an hour to go.
Wait a sec. This is a staff meeting. Don't say where it is, of course. But
No.
but
I work at more than one place.
yeah.
Also, so.
But that's gonna be a funny staff meeting.
Oh my
With
gosh!
everybody
Yeah,
high
there's a
on pot
meeting at
brownies?
10. There's a meeting, and then we're having a staff party.
Oh,
so
that should be
I'm wondering when people are gonna indulge, but it should be interesting. Should be an interesting night.
Everybody be sleeping by
Yeah.
midnight, 1 o'clock.
We're supposed to be going out and drinking afterwards, but I think there's gonna be some people who are going to be not feeling that.
A little too high for the bar.
I was telling Carly about when I was in the Port Alberni Toy Run that we would have our appreciation potluck for ourselves, our own our own private party for all the volunteers once a year, and it was a potluck. And jokingly, because I'm the pot guy, known,
Yeah.
they would always say like, "Oh, and Opus, please don't bring us any of your, don't put it in, but like feel free to bring some to share, but not in the food." And I always made the same thing every year. I made like a vegetarian lasagna, because, which surprisingly enough, there's a couple vegetarians that always thank me because I'd be like the only one to bring a vegetarian dish. There's nothing but meat on the table.
I love that. That's awesome.
The chat
Think
wants
of
to
the
know
veggies.
how much weed is in one brownie, Carly.
Honestly, I have no idea.
That was
That's
Joy.
why I'm getting Opus help me out. I made
Did you?
a
Oh,
box.
here we come. We can do our shot now.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Lame.
Lame.
Just joking. You guys are.
Yeah, I
hot.
made one box of brownies. I
the
made
thumbs up.
about 30 brownies.
You busted
No,
up
I
a
made
lot of
30
weed,
brownies.
though. I saw a
made
lot of
30
weed being busted up.
brownies, and I busted up about 12 and a half grams. But I also had a bunch of stems that I had been saving up for a while with like all sorts of different grades of marijuana, and I ground that up really finely as well. And I, decarboxylized it.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask if you decarbed it.
I
was
did.
I was
I
going to ask if
did.
you did or not. And
And then I impatiently waited by a coffee filter for it to drip through, made the brownies, and made little warning signs so that nobody, after a couple drinks, like walks past the table and just like thinks they're regular brownies and scarfs
They're
them
gonna
down.
get fucked up.
Yeah. How did it taste?
tasted delicious.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good.
And it
Tell
tasted
people,
strong.
Carly, tell people what happened when you tried them. And you are pretty tolerant.
I am.
You have a high tolerance.
Yeah. I do have
You're
a
going to
pretty
eat
high
that one or no?
You
Is
were
that from
fucked
You
up.
know
you?
what?
You were really high last night.
Yeah, I'm going to be drinking later tonight, and I don't know that. I'll have a bite.
Go ahead. You have some. I'll have some too more if you don't
Yeah,
want it.
that's
I'll eat it.
He'll eat it.
That's why I'm asking. Are you going to eat that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But,
I had one. I had also had some of the batter too.
Mick's gonna get high.
But then I had one, and
I need to take a picture of you guys too.
oh, okay. When I
You
was
gotta give
doing
me
my
the
work,
dork
it
thing
was
again.
so hard to keep track
The
of
what?
my thoughts.
The dork thing again.
Oh
the
my
buddy
gosh.
Jesus?
The thumbs. The buddy Jesus.
Happy Funtime.
Oh,
show.
here you guys. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I'm just getting a pic here. Sorry to bother you on air. I got one of Mick chewing. That looks really good. That looks good on Instagram. Insta chew. Foodies. Yeah, it's empty. Oh, did it work? Oh, it was blurry at the last moment. Okay, one more of those. There you go. Thumbs. Where do these go on
Okay.
Opus Live?
What was the question? What was the
sit
question
down.
again? Oh, what happened? Yes. Everything was taking forever. I could not think of the most basic tasks. I had probably about an hour's worth of work to do before going to bed, and I ended up taking about 4 hours to get it all done because I kept asking Jeremiah for help with the simplest of tasks because I was just like, I just can't do it. I just can't. I was trying to write warning signs to put up so that people know that they're medicated, and I kept I spelled the word happy with 3 P's. So yeah, I just wasn't functioning quite the same as I normally do.
When I would
good
often
shit.
bring weed-infused stuff to, public events. Well, actually, I used to do this actually on the lasagna I'd bring to the toy run.
Yeah.
Even though there was no weed in it, just for snicks, I would grab a big weed leaf from my garden and set it on top afterwards, and then sprinkle paprika all over it, and then take the leaf off so you have just like the imprint. It's a nice. And if you're making dessert stuff, do it with icing sugar.
That is
Powdered,
awesome.
powdered sugar,
That's
especially
great.
through a sifter. Do the same thing. Remove the leaf after, and you
It's like
got
a stencil.
It's a stencil.
I've done it.
You
I've
got
done
the
that
pot leaf
before.
stencil.
I should have done that for the pot brownie.
But I would do that at the at Toy Run,
And
and
if
then
you don't-
everybody be going around the table going, "Mick, is there weed?" And I'm like, "No, I just put that on there." Just they were like, "Oh, my.
Just to fuck with you.
Just exactly." But once people start digging into it, it's but the first
That's
few
hilarious.
And then
people,
you get them high anyways.
And if you don't have a pot leaf, you can just cut out a piece of cardboard.
yeah, download one off the internet. You wouldn't even need cardboard. More like a piece of paper would actually even work, and just print it off, cut that out, lay it on top there, and do the same thing. Works the same.
Or just pretend you're 4
Yeah.
again like me and just
A
use
piece
the
of pa-
icing scribblers.
Yeah, a piece of paper is more the consistency of a pot leaf than cardboard.
You're right.
Yeah, that's why it works
Anything,
better.
yes.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about because you don't have to transfer it. Just print something off on your printer and away you go. Or a 3D printer if you got one, make a pot leaf.
That's
yeah.
right.
On a 3D printer.
Yes.
Yeah.
3D printer. You print it out on a brick.
Yeah, there you go. Let's play a movie. Let's play a movie. Let's go.
Let's go to the movies.
Let's go to the movies.
We're going to the sea straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Those brownies
Shot
don't
already.
work.
Round 2.
It was good.
Well, let's watch a video. Let's watch kids reading emails from the Prime Minister's office. This is kind of fun. Yeah.
I gotta find it here. Hold on.
I think it's in the drive. We're just working. It's second from the bottom. Down. I see where you are.
Oh yeah, this thing keeps moving.
You're in special coverage promo. No.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, one more down. There it is.
boom.
All right, Jared's going to get that one up. I'm going to go get a drink. You want a drink?
Sure.
What do you want?
Okay, it's going.
Can you hear this?
Yeah.
From the top of the page? Okay. Let's do this. Here, scooch up a bit. Stephen Harper promised to clean up liberal scandals. Let's look at the record. Janice and I spoke. One issue. She wanted it all in righted. I explained that was not happening. We aren't selling a car or settling a lawsuit here.
How can we do that? If someone thinks a crime has occurred, can we have an internal agreement not to refer it to the RCMP?
I think that would be a scandal. No, unless you guys disagree, I think we tell her we cannot mention the RCMP. What even is RCMP?
We are good to go from the PM.
Sorry about that. I am at wit's end with the drama and agendas at play
At the Chamber of Sober Second Thought. Apparently, the clerk and staffer threatened legal action.
Our members felt the staffer would leak the report.
The purpose of this is to put Mike in a different bucket.
And to prevent him from going squarely on a bunch of weekend panel shows. I thought it said squirrely. Senator Duffy would make this easier if he did not have outbursts in the Senate caucus that made senators oppose anything that helped him save face.
Yeah, I thought that one wasn't as good. Let this small group be under no illusion. I think this is going to end badly. Have you had enough?
It's time for change in Ottawa.
Hey, and we're back. At least I am. Carly stepped out for a second, and she'll expect her back in a minute.
Smoke
That's
a big
cool.
cigar.
She's smoking a cigar. That's, yeah.
She's got to smoke the whole stogie before she gets back, so it could be about like 45 minutes.
Not a problem. Not a
joking.
problem. She can come
I
back
have
for
no
the
idea
end.
where she is, actually.
Bad news. Well, not really, because it doesn't really mean much, but recent polls show conservatives as favorites, unfortunately.
Saw that. That's a shame. Not by much, though.
No, it's a real, it's a horse race, really, between the NDP and the Conservatives at this point. But it's early. There's lots of time to keep putting your foot in your mouth. No problem there at all. There's lots.
Somehow, Teflon Steve just survives everything, though.
Not so much. In this, it's interesting because now, before we had the video, we were talking about the basic negative press and all the negativity attached to Harper lately and how he's not doing much good. For instance, there's another thing that came up today, and I don't have all the details, but I was seeing these tweets. Well, actually, this is funny. I'll mention another one. I follow Tom Mulcair on Twitter, or at least I follow whoever manages his account. I'm sure it's not old Tom doing it.
Probably not.
No, it's calculated. Somebody's, manages that. It's their
Robo
job.
Tom.
Well, it's just at Tom Mulcair at NDP or whatever.
Yeah, it's faceless NDP page.
Twitter account. But, no, it's got Tommy's picture on there.
No, I mean, the person who's doing it is a
Oh,
staffer,
yeah.
like a person
of course.
who works for
yeah,
him.
yeah. Volunteer staffer, paid
Yeah.
staffer probably a paid position.
Yeah.
Anyways, the point is I guess I saw a bunch of other tweets from people I follow saying, oh, Stephen Harper takes it to a new level, bars veterans from a Legion. I guess he was probably having some campaign stop at a Legion somewhere. And like I say, I don't even know where. I think it might have been on the East Coast.
Grandpa was getting too rowdy.
So no, I guess you know how it is. He has to vet all of the people that go to his events. And what happened is, obviously, there's a concentrated effort amongst veterans in Canada right now to vote against the Conservative government in this election. And I think Harper is actually afraid of that because that's part of his base is the military. So you got he's treated the military like shit. And this is just one more thing. So anyways, back to Tom Mulcair. He tweeted, I am shocked to learn that Stephen Harper has banned veterans from a Legion. And I had to tweet back saying, "Really, Tom? None of us are surprised."
Exactly.
I mean,
Why feign surprise?
now, and Carly mentioned to me, well, go ahead, tell them what you mentioned about how, like, the
Yeah.
setup, right?
I see his point in saying it's shocking, because to say that,
Or that
you know,
he is
like,
shocked personally.
he was shocked
He's shocked.
personally. Yeah, I feel like if you say something like, "We're not surprised that this and this is happening," then it's kind of like a groan or like rolling your eyes. It's, you know, that's not very attention grabbing. Whereas something like, "I'm shocked,"
Clutching his pearls.
That's gonna get
yeah.
retweets,
Oh,
you know?
how dare he?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Wow, the
Exactly.
outrage that you would ban this
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
from his own legion.
Like Rick Mercer when he was talking about one of the scandals, and he says, "So what did Harper do?" He goes, "He stacked one high horse on top of another high horse and did a handstand of indignation."
Oh man,
That's a direct
Mercer's
Rick
hilarious.
Mercer quote.
He's so funny.
Yeah, referring to one of his something that Harper did when he was accused of something. It was like, "What? How dare you think such a thing? Not me." The not me guy, Teflon dude, should just become the not me guy.
I didn't do it.
Or the, oh no, actually, nobody believes you. That hashtag stuck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That
That
was
was
stuck.
Justin.
That did stuck. And you know what else is kind of stuck? Harper's War was it one that he had to own? He didn't like that hashtag.
Harper's War?
Harper's War.
Oh.
Talking about anything to do with Afghanistan and dead soldiers and anything to do with that shit. Bad news out of the military was Harper's War.
Those Stop Harper signs are up everywhere, huh?
Yep, they can't stop it.
I keep seeing articles in the newspaper. Small town has to spend a whole bunch of money on replacing stop signs.
It's literally become viral to put a Harper on a stop sign now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Bridget DePape, who she's the page who held up the Stop Harper sign at the opening of the
Yeah.
Parliament there that couple of years back when they were,
Yeah.
you know, and kudos to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it that time. Timing was on.
Got it.
Nailed it.
Timing was on. Nailed it. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. All right, you clip that, roll that one. Keep clipping that same,
Yeah.
that little segment where we got it right.
Yeah,
Finally,
we'll just
we
play
were
that
on.
over
We
and
were
over
on
again.
together. Yay! I was watching you that time. I was paying attention.
Yes.
I wasn't watching him. The camera. I'm trying to look at the camera. And split. I got split view here.
Our hours of rehearsal have finally paid off.
Someone's smoking weed. I can smell it in here.
Someone smoking weed. I can smell it. You know what? I'm smoking some weed. Carly, you want to smoke some weed? Here.
Oh, yeah.
Here, wait.
Yeah.
I'll fill
smoke
that
some
bong
weed.
here. Or you got some weed? Or
Yeah.
you got some right here. Give me that bowl.
You know, I have sativa, and it's a little late in the day for sativa, so this grape god is much more appropriate. Thank
Have
you.
some grape god. And let's just check this out. This is, what's his face? Some tennis guy, Dvorak or whatever. I can't even
Oh
say.
my
I don't know how to
gosh.
say the name.
How do you
Yeah.
pronounce that? I've never even attempted to try.
Djokovic.
Djokovic?
Djokovic, I guess. Does anybody
It's
know
actually
a tennis guy?
It's pronounced Rolf.
All right, check this video
Oh
out.
yeah, here we're skipping the ads here. Okay, here you go,
Yeah.
ladies and gents.
Ding.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yesterday, you say on double sport, somebody's getting high. No, honestly,
I know.
you smell it, the whole stadium smells it. Wow.
You're back.
I love that video because of the guy in the background, the chair umpire, just cracking up. And I'm just sure that it was just like him when the tennis player wasn't looking. He's like, taking quick like hits off the pipe
The
when no one's
referee
paying
guy?
attention.
Yeah.
The chair ump's probably got a vape pen.
Yeah.
He's probably
He's
wailing on
laughing
a
up there.
he's wailing
That's
on
why
a
he's
vape
laughing
pen
so
up
hard
there.
because he's so high.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't know if anybody could smell it.
Yeah.
He
He's like,
didn't
oh,
notice
shit.
that he was wearing a seatbelt up there in that chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked guilty, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Or else he was, if he wasn't smoking, he was probably thinking, yeah, I smelled it too, and really smells good.
Yeah.
He's thinking, yeah, that smelled
Do
like
they call
good
that
shit.
guy a chair umpire? Is that what you call
I
it?
believe that is the term.
I Googled,
You
so I
Googled it.
knew because I was like, what's the referee called? There's more than one referee.
Oh, there's
But
line umps.
Yeah, but I did not
believe
take the
that's what they're
time,
called,
honestly, to
line
research them all.
umpires.
But I did
Umpire.
see that there was one that was the chair umpire, and he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
on the tall chair in the middle as the chair
That
Gotta
Well,
be up
if-
there high
yeah.
to be able to see.
Yeah. And
I
then
see- I use the word high.
there's a guy who's like right down who watches the edge of the net. They also have sensors on them, but there's a guy who's watching who calls out net ball, like if they in the serve.
Right.
Right, so you can't hit the net in the serve. So during the service,
if it
the guy
grazes
there's a
it.
guy who usually gets down with his eyeball right on, and he just watches the top of that net.
So if it grazes the net, he can see.
Yeah, and again, the umpire, because they've got the line umps who watch the lines this way, and they got guys watching both way the back line.
I could be totally wrong. I can honestly say I've never
I-
watched
I
a game
do
of
know.
tennis in my life.
Oh,
so.
I've been to.
Yeah, okay,
I've been to Davis Cup matches in Toronto many years ago.
Hey,
You play
there you
tennis?
go.
No, but I watch it.
I was gonna say we should play some tennis.
I have played tennis. Not in a long time. I'm probably way too out of shape for tennis.
I love it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I have to get back in shape, man. Not too much running for this old guy. I'm a golfer now. I play golf. That's my game now. I play golf.
Yeah, I wasn't sure with that bacon foot of yours.
Bacon golf. Bacon foot golf.
Ew.
Speaking of bacon, Buds and Bacon, last week's episode.
That was fun.
What are we at? 17,000 plus views?
Yeah, I just posted it yesterday on the Facebook account.
How do you
It's
like
at
that, actually?
17,000,
Yeah,
18,000 views by now.
Thank
Yeehaw.
you.
Thanks for watching.
That's so
Appreciate it
awesome.
very much. We'll keep trying to bring you more quality stuff. Actually, I'm out this week. I got the video cam rolling on a couple of different things, so it's going to be fun. See what I can bring into next week's show.
We have fun stuff planned.
I even got stuff on my SD cards that I have to download, but computer work on Wednesday, and then we'll continue. So we're back at her. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's true though. We've really been seeing some massive numbers on Facebook. When we post our videos, we have a 2.2 million followers on our Facebook account, and when we post our videos, it gets seen by a lot of people. And
That's million with an M.
million, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As in M, as in marijuana. One more, ready?
Zing. Yeah.
Marijuana. That's right. Every time someone says marijuana, it should just be
The magic void.
the word of the day.
That's gonna get really tiring here.
Yeah,
Marijuana.
Well, we say a lot of other words like cannabis, weed, ganja.
Yeah, we don't
Speaking
say
of
marijuana
ganja,
very much, actually.
I got a story here.
Too many syllables.
Nearly 1,100 pounds of ganja, valued at $2.7 million, has been seized by the police. The contraband was seized in Kingston Wharves yesterday morning. The police say at about 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, security personnel contacted the narcotics police to assist in the search of a container they were unable to find. Disappeared. So
How are they going to search it if they can't find it?
no, they're searching for a container that they couldn't find. So they needed to
I
find the
see.
container, you see.
I see, okay.
The container subsequently was found with 6 parcels containing nearly 74 pounds of ganja. The investigators say the container, which arrived in the island on August 7th from the United States, was destined for the Netherlands. The discovery led the police to another container, which had 10 large duffel bags. And a search of these bags revealed a further 262 parcels, which contained approximately 1,022 pounds of ganja. The container had arrived on July 26th from China and was scheduled to depart for Suriname? I don't know where the hell that is. Suriname.
Doesn't sound like it's anywhere near here.
No. Sounds almost like the Middle East somewhere. Sounds like a town in Iraq. The police did not say whether any arrests were made in connection with the drug fines. Oh, that's 2.7 million Jamaican dollars. Oh yeah, this is from the Gleaner, by the way.
I see.
From the Jamaican Gleaner.
Yeah,
This is, yeah, man, Jamaican news.
From the island.
From the island, man. You didn't get it when I said Kingston Wharves. I should have spoken a Jamaican accent for them. If Mark was here, I was going to say to him to come up and, hey man, read this for me. I need to do the Jamaican news for me. Yeah. And now the correspondence from our Jamaican correspondent.
Got that down pat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He sure does. He's got a few of them down. He's good at doing.
I know Mark needs a show. We're talking about Mark Anthony.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Van City.
He is like, needs to be on the sketch comedy show with David Mamet Levine and Al the Alchemist. The three of them should have a sketch comedy show together. That would be fucking hilarious.
It would be good. Al. Yeah.
All three of them do like really good impressions and voices.
Do we want to? Let's go. Oh, I know what I want to do. It's 5:19, 5:20, close enough. We're not. Who's all in the chat? How many people you got watching? What's going on today?
Well. We have 37 people tuned in at the moment.
37.
And we have many a chatter. Archer, Jam, Sixth Sense, Joy, Resin Girl. We have
Resin Girl.
Resin
Hi.
Girl.
Darth Bong.
I haven't been in the chat when Resin
28
Girl's been
Dabs
there
was
yet.
in there.
I don't
Nice to
recognize
meet
Resin
you.
Girl.
Resin Girl, yeah, I recognize.
I
Resin Girl.
don't watch the chat.
I watch it sometimes. When I can't make it to a show, sometimes I'll go in the chat.
Ralgash.
Sometimes I just like
Yeah.
leave
No.
it
Oh
up
yeah.
and
No.
like watch.
That's usually the
Because
only.
I like to know what the people in chat think.
It's the only
feel
time I
about
see chat is if
Yeah.
I tune into someone else's show.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I bugged
Or is it
Jeremiah
Skype-alike?
or Tommy usually after the show, and I'm like, what did they say? Is it gay?
Hey. Okay. Well, cool.
Just perverted things usually.
I don't think Resin Girl has ever won anything.
I don't.
I'm asking. You can
She
reply in
might
chat.
have.
Jeremiah will tell us.
Yeah.
Resin Girl, have you ever won anything
Have you won
before?
anything? Just go in chat. Talk in chat for us.
Okay.
What?
The chat's a little laggy. Well, we'll just talk to her through the microphone. She'll answer us.
Yeah.
If she, I don't think she's. No, she said no.
No?
No.
Okay. Today, because we're not actually going to give weed away today, but I am giving away 2 books, a copy of Does Cannabis Inherently Harm Young People's Developing Minds?
You just picked a person at random to give these to? Is that what you're
That's
saying?
what I'm doing.
I see.
That's by David Malin Levine.
DML.
And a copy of Green Buds and Hash by Dana Larson.
What about the book
Hey,
cam?
there
Get the
are
book cam on there.
page
All right. I can do that.
Book cam.
The book cam. Are they both in?
Yes, sir. Green Buds and Hash. And does cannabis inherently harm the minds? What is it? Harm people's? What is it? Something.
Does
Does
cannabis
cannabis inherently
inherently
harm
harm-
young people's developing minds?
Oh yeah, jeez, that's what it is.
As a,
What
there
would
we
I
go.
know? I edited it.
Yeah.
I should know. I remember nothing.
Oh look, marijuana. Now it's the ground up weed cam.
Oh, weed cam.
Ground up weed cam.
Can't wait till the movie comes out, says Rufus.
What's that?
Rufus says can't wait till the movie comes out.
The movie.
For Green Buds and Hash, I guess. Or maybe for cannabis. Does cannabis inherently harm the developing minds of young people?
I don't know. We should make our own movie.
Either way, it'd
I
be
still-
exciting.
we should
Nail
make a
biter.
movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Pot TV the movie.
Hey,
Pod TV the movie.
Pot TV the movie. Let's do it. We should talk about that. I know you got that other project, but we should probably talk about this too. Because this is
Got a lot of
doable.
projects.
Over a period of time, I'll just compile we can do that.
That's cool. No, I think
that's
a funny
another
idea.
story. We'll get on to that. Oh, but did we talk about the photo shoot at all?
What photo did you shoot, and what'd you shoot it with? Bow and arrow?
Well, there was a 12 High Chicks photo shoot that Carly was modeling for.
Oh yeah.
It was like, what, 2 weekends back?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks
Couple
ago.
weekends
I'm not
ago.
Sure if we talked about it.
I
No,
saw
I don't
those
think we did.
pictures.
No, maybe not.
That was cool.
It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Went up
She's
in
done a
Lions
couple of
Bay.
those
That went up
sessions
in
now.
Lions Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
was that
Oh,
your
it
first high?
beautiful.
Was that your first 3
Well,
High Chicks?
I went for a test shoot to just kind of see if they wanted to see if they would
With,
like
with
me.
Mary Beth?
Yeah, Mary
Yeah,
Beth
yeah.
was the photographer, and Penny was the art. Sorry, Miss Kitten Puff was the
Director.
Makeup?
no.
Style?
She just was the kind of
Assistant?
seeing how the shots all looked, kind of thing.
Producer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Second opinion.
Yeah.
Professional opinion.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
just to kind of see how I worked with other people and stuff like that.
Key grip.
Yeah.
Best boy.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what these
But it was
positions are.
So we did that, and then there was the 12 High Chicks.
Well, the
Photo shoot.
12 High Chicks photo shoot was really cool because, first of all, it was 2 other girls involved and done up in, well, what do you call that? Makeup? Like skeleton kind of.
It was skeleton.
Had some
makeup.
kind of cool Halloween-y style, sort of. And you're kind of
Yes.
dressed like really, low cut, sexy, sort of dark.
Kind of rock and roll.
Kind of rock and roll, kind of dark
Yeah.
side, and it was pretty cool.
It
So
was.
I was doing behind the scenes
Smoking
video
lots of
and
weed.
and some photos, because and that was I thought was neat too, because
Yeah.
behind the scenes shit. But one of the fun parts was like we were out in Lions Bay, so I was like, well, let's go down to the water. So there's like just walk down to the park. So we're walking through a residential neighborhood. Not out of place at all. No.
All of
Dressed
us in
up,
booty
puffing
shorts
down.
too.
Booty shorts, ripped up leggings,
Corsets.
skeletal makeup, and colored hair and
Spike
shit.
bras.
That was just Mick dressed up.
Yeah, that was me.
The girls were wearing suits, but
Yeah, that's right. That's the behind the scenes dress up. Yeah. I had
Yeah.
my-
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That wasn't even for the pictures.
That's why it was behind the scenes.
Yeah.
regular Tuesday night for Mick.
But it was funny. We got down to the park, and of course, it's a family park. There's people down there with children.
We're like, we'll go to the water.
We didn't get any looks at all. Fit right
Nothing better
in.
than putting on a bunch of skeletal makeup and going down to the playground.
Anytime someone would give us a dirty look, one of the, like, if we were walking on the street, one of the girls would yell, "Vote for Harper," and they would give us an even stranger look. 'Cause you're
So
like,
we thought we should go door knocking as like Harper supporters, see if you're voting conservative.
Do you worship the devil?
yeah.
Go down
Vote
to the
conservative.
conservative.
Vote
go
for
to a
Steve.
conservative's campaign office. You just grab a handful of pamphlets and then go
And just
knocking on
leave them.
doors in embarrassing ways. Yeah.
Conservative zombies.
Don't shower for a few days. Or brush your teeth. Go knocking on doors.
One step ahead of
Knock
you,
on
brother.
their door at like
Sleep.
a really
Get an
inconvenient
old
time.
Salvation
Right at dinner time.
Yeah.
Knock right at dinner time, too.
Get an old Salvation Army suit and then sleep in it for a few days. Don't comb your hair. Hi, I'm here to talk about from the Conservative
I'm a
Party.
good representative of the.
Local Conservative representative.
Yeah. Well, that's what the conservatives were doing with the NDP, wasn't it? They were like sending
Well.
out fake slips that were like, "Go vote on this day," or
Robocalls and shit, man. I think that's funny.
telling the other team to vote on a different day.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you dress
Different
up as some
poll.
dirty hippies and go in there.
Yeah.
And like, yo, man, vote for the NDP, man. We'll all be smoking weed all the time. I'm sure the conservatives
I
do the
tell
same
you,
thing.
two can play that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Just gotta like.
He's going to offend people.
Yeah, we squeeze the souls out of young children.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were going for. That's kind of what we were going
Join
for.
the Conservative Party. Darth Harper.
Darth Harper.
Would you like to donate your firstborn?
Someone needs to make a meme of that, Darth Harper.
Just sign here and we'll harvest your organs.
Oh God. It'd be
The
funny
Die-Hard conservative package.
if you do
Nation package.
see a conservative candidate in your neighborhood. Go out, and when he goes up to every door, he's just stand on the sidewalk, like in the background with your shirt on, saying, "I'm with stupid."
That's funny.
People
would
look
be
out.
really
What's that
funny.
guy on this? Oh, hi.
That would be hilarious to just have like a clipboard over your chest and then have the I'm with stupid thing on it and get yourself into some of those conservative events and get yourself pictures taken next to people.
They're using facial recognition hardware
and just,
to
like,
those
arrows
events,
in every
dude.
direction and just
Yeah,
stand
you're right.
right in the middle of the crowd and photo bomb
They're
them.
even kicking the journalists out.
And
Yeah.
why can't
Oh,
I
yeah.
find those videos? I wonder. Wonder if they were in the other drive.
Which one is that?
What are you looking for there?
I gotta go here. Hang on, in here.
You playing Candy Crush?
Yes. Shh. Oh, they are. Can you switch over to the other drive? The retake one, the resend from Opus one. Just switch drives.
Okay.
There's another two videos in here I want to throw up.
Overdrive.
The
The flux capacitor.
Yes, the one with the flux capacitor. How to fix your flux capacitor with duct tape and
Go
gum.
back to Gmail.
What's that? No, you don't have to go anywhere. You just have to go back to the dock.
Yeah, I'm in it.
It's the file right under it. It's in the same folder.
Oh.
You follow me?
No, it's in a different. I gotta go back.
No. In the 420 Lifestyle Show one.
Yeah, that one got closed.
Okay. No, they go back in there.
It's all good. I got
You got the password? Did you
Yeah.
unlog it? You didn't log
I'm
out?
in.
Okay. Go back in there and open in the file the one where it says resend from Opus.
Okay.
Sorry about this. Minor details. We
Doing
just
all
got
our
the
technical
drive
stuff
sorted
on
out
there.
just before the show
Yeah.
because we have a new email and all that jazz for the show. If you would like to write the show, the new email address is very simple, the 420 Lifestyle Show @gmail.com.
And so,
Yeah.
what's in the resend that you wanted, Mick?
All right, videos. In the videos, I want to first of all, let's look at how good is Facebook's facial recognition. Since we were discussing, or it came up, we ended up somehow on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one. We'll watch this first, and then I have a tutorial on how to beat it. And we'll get into this in a minute. Okay. This is a minute and 42 seconds.
I gotta get my.
No wonder this is where all the other stuff went that I was looking for because I was working through drives, remember? And because it's so
Well, no, we've
confusing.
got it working.
Oh, it'll be better next week.
Yeah.
We're on.
It's still going good.
Good. I was thinking too. Now that I'm doing things a little differently, I'm probably going to start the file like tonight, and then we just add to it all week. Make it simple. Yeah, it makes it so much. You can, Hey, hey. So, yeah, that's a little Facebook. How good is Facebook's recognition? Need this?
No.
Facebook's facial recognition. Boy, that's kind of hard to say. A couple times.
Facial recognition
over and
technology. Facebookal recognition.
Facebook's face recognition.
Facial recognition.
Facebook's facial recognition.
Facial book.
Facial.
That's it. Facial book.
That's a different thing.
Facial recognition
that
book.
website.
All right. The point I'm getting at is, and you're going to find out in a second, but anyways, I actually closed down my Facebook account, and not just because of this. A lot of other reasons. It's just too much for me to handle anymore. I spend too much time in that. But there is the 420 Lifestyle Show Facebook page. And there'll be postings to that, and you'll be able to look in, check in on that, what's going on. So that's where things are going to start changing, photos and all that jazz. Everything will just go there.
Yep.
Grandma was sending you too many messages, Mick?
That's right.
Grandma.
I just, that private messenger thing just blew up.
Blowing you up.
Blew up.
Every time you look at your phone, you're like, damn it, Grandma.
That's what I said, too.
She was sending you photos of, Drew Carey on the Price is Right.
But facial recognition's not a big deal now, like the program. Like, it's not hard to get it. A lot of people have it. It's everywhere. Cameras are using it all over the place. What I'm getting at is the fact at the recent Cannabis Day protests on July 1st here in Vancouver, there was that cop who was very intimidating in everyone's face with that camera on a pole. And I can guarantee you they're using facial recognition hardware. The cops have it, and they use it on all the videos when they go to examine videos. Why else would he be jamming it in everyone's face? So it is illegal now in Canada to wear a mask at a protest unless it's weather-related, which basically translates into wearing a balaclava in the winter if you're protesting in the winter and it's cold. You could it's cold out, I'm trying to keep warm. You could technically, that's what it's, or having a scarf covering most of your face. That's acceptable, but only under certain conditions. And I can't think of any others that would have a mask applied, like those two people dressed up like Duffy and Wright dancing around in front of the courthouse with a great big $90,000 check. Technically, they violated C-51 and can be considered terrorists because they had their faces covered at a protest. That's illegal. They didn't get rushed, tackled to the ground by the RCs, but they could have.
Well, wouldn't our umbrella idea then be the same deal?
That's not wearing a mask.
If it has a happy face on it?
That's still not wearing a mask. Your face isn't covered. You're carrying an object.
Okay.
All right, which brings me to the next thing. So to show up at a protest, maybe the next time there's a protest, you might want to go and be in compliance with the law and yet be able to thwart facial recognition hardware. How do we do this? Well, this is real simple. And here is a makeup tutorial on how to hide from cameras through using facial recognition. And we'll talk about this after we come back. So, hey, check it out. 3.5 minutes. I'll be back in that time, hopefully.
Cool. Jared, did you plug my iPod in?
Wait, is this in the second one, Mick? This is in the... Uh-oh, where did it go here? This one.
Are we still live?
No.
Yeah. This one. Oh, yeah, the makeup tutorial. Nice. Yeah, you're still on right now. Sorry.
Oh.
I didn't tell you.
You didn't tell me. I would have smoked weed.
That's okay. It's going to the video in just a second. It's just this damn thing. It's not...
because I packed this bowl for you, so I'd rather... You can... When we come back.
Yay, I want one of those.
Yeah, I actually put some really nice hash on top of it.
Okay, cheers, Jillian.
Today's topic is how to hide from cameras. So it's nothing like smoky eyes or blush basics today. Right now, we're going to be discussing different techniques which will let you walk around the city undetected by cameras. Here's what you'll need. You too can avoid being recognized by computers, machines, robots, anything. If you follow these easy steps, you will be undetectable by cameras and you will look great. I use ordinary house scissors to get a cool angle from my bangs. Scotch tape does the trick to get straight lines when applying makeup. Here I'm using the white cream. CV Dazzle isn't just makeup. It's accessorizing, it's hairdos, it's the way you present yourself. A towel helps for cleanup. It's important to address the forehead because you really need to concentrate on breaking up that region. Facial recognition systems work by identifying certain landmarks on a person's face. They extract information by using algorithms that detect certain areas that really stick out. Those being the nose bridge, lips, or ocular regions under the eyes. It's really important that we distort those, that way the computers might have a harder time recognizing us. My training for this look comes from Adam Harvey with the CV Dazzle approach. When working near my eyes, I use white eyeshadow instead of the cream. Guys, the most important thing here is to really break up your face. The more you distort your look, the harder time computers will have identifying you. I cannot stress this enough. Black lipstick is a great way to cover lots of surface on your face quickly. Peeling off the tape helps with the straight lines. Creating contrast is easy if you use black eyeliner. We all know that cameras are monitoring us at all times, so I wanted to give you this makeup tutorial as a gift to teach you how to avoid being facially recognized. This isn't about blending in. This is about sticking out yet remaining undetected by cameras. And guys, I really want you to be creative here. The designs are limitless. I use a little bit of glitter when I'm feeling fancy. Okay, and there you have it. All you have to do is the last touches, including taking the bobby pin out of your hair, letting your new bangs down, and I recommend grabbing a piece from the back and putting it down in front of your face. Tune in next week and we'll be discussing different ways to hide in public with accessories. I'm going to teach you how to make a hat built with infrared lights, and you'll be safe to walk through any street undetected.
Dab cam.
Love the dab cam. Torching it up.
Yay.
Looks good.
Tastes good too. Yeah. All right. That was, and that glass piece is by Jonk Glass, BC artist.
Very cool.
Got that at the Glass Gathering a couple years back. It's a goodie. Anyway, so that was a makeup tutorial on how to hide from facial recognition. I think it's kind of cool. Well, first of all, it'd be interesting to see if that becomes a new fashion trend, or it catches on at all.
Oh, I'm doing it at the
And
next
some
protest.
people
I've
might-
had more than one camera pressed to my face, so I'll be
Well,
sure to
actually, though, but as far that's where I'm getting at, though, but not so much in a day-to-day walking around, but which would be still cool. But well, because it's making a statement, It's like if you walk around daily about that, obviously I'm going to look at you and go, right on. You're making a statement.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool. So we'll see. But the other thing though is guaranteed at protests. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, that's where they use that stuff the most right now.
Next major. Well, they're walking around with the cams. That's exactly what they're doing. And
that's why they said you can't wear masks.
Jason Wilcox from Cannabis in Canada took pictures, and I saw the unit. It was up on the roof of the building across the street, the old Hudson's Bay building in downtown. There was a tripod with this round-looking thing, which kind of looked a little bit like a radar unit off of like a fishing boat. Not the ones that spin, but just usually the round, sort of looking like looks like two frisbees put together. And they're usually by Furuno. So there was this black unit thing on a tripod with an antenna on top of it, on top of this building. Now, easily could have been some communications relay for the cops or whatever. But what I'm curious, and a few other people that I spoke to who saw it, and when we talked about it, they went, yeah. I wondered if it wasn't a Stingray program, which sucks everybody's information out of your cell phone, even if it's off.
What?
Yeah. It can literally just take all your info out of your cell phone. So what, especially if there's all your contact information is, and that's the easiest thing it is, due to phone numbers, for the computer to cross-reference. And it's like, so quickly they know who all the same people who are in your group of. You can be compartmentalized, as we were talking about earlier when you mentioned the easiest way is to compartmentalize.
Yeah. I don't think they can get all the data from your phone if it's off, but they can get the metadata from your phone, who you are, what phone it is, what your phone number is, and all that kind of data.
And they can get all your contacts.
And maybe that shit too.
I think they can get all your contacts out of your phone, and maybe your locations, like you follow your Google, whatever your GPS tracks.
Not cool.
And again, back to the Facebook, the biggest governmental tracking program there is. There's another article, I didn't bring it up today, but there's an article I was just reading and I think maybe we talked about it last week, where Facebook is using, has been for quite some time, the cops using Facebook's private messenger to go after child molesters. But, they're ignoring everybody else who does anything illegal on there, who talks about, for instance, drugs, weed. What, you mean they're just turning a blind eye? No. Facebook is a huge tracking. I mean, the whole idea of checking in.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'm telling you exactly where I am. I'm making it easy. You don't even have to check my GPS. Look, I've made it easier for you. I've made a status update.
Yeah.
Who cares? The more we talk about privacy and how it's eroded and things like that, and yet we turn around and willingly just offer up everything we have.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest story about AT&T helping the government steal everybody's emails?
And if you think these are isolated instances, then we're being naive. Really. And these are just the ones that get caught, that get exposed. What about all the ones that don't get caught? To think that this is isolated is, no, I'm sorry. That's just not, there's too many coincidences. Every time you turn around, there's another instance. There's another story. There's something else that comes up. And like we've talked about earlier in the show, how those stories quickly get buried or disappear. So what? And nothing's up?
Yeah. No, it's scary because what's really scary about this latest story with AT&T is that they released these documents that show all the stuff that the people in the intelligence community are very happy with the relationship they have with AT&T, and they quote them as saying that AT&T has been very cooperative, that they're partners. And they told their own employees, the intelligence people, when they would go to work in the AT&T building, not to be rude to them because they're partners in this whole thing and they've been great to us. And they show how there's this whole culture at AT&T of working directly with the government to spy on everyone and that the company seems more than willing to do it, offering it up and being a partner in the whole thing. So, scary stuff.
Very. By the way, sorry, the person that who was it who won the?
It was Resin Girl.
Resin Girl. Oh yeah, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked on a stoner moment. But yeah, send us your mailing information to the 420 Lifestyle Show at gmail.com, and 3 Happy Cats will be sending you these 2 books. So there you have it.
Nice.
Random pick. Opus's pick today. That's how we decided to play that game.
Well, we don't have
That's
a
funny.
lot of time left.
Oh, we still have time. Time for...
Well,
Well, time to get high.
Say that 3 times fast.
yeah.
More brownies. More
You packed a
brownies.
bowl for me.
I did pack a bowl for you.
Okay.
You also showed an
Oh,
interesting
no.
article about Mr. Duffy and his friends.
What's this one? Sorry.
The article about Mr. Duffy and his friends.
Which? Oh, which one? I need help. Which one?
Yeah, you guys have a lot more content, but we can always do some of it next week, too.
Oh, well, that's what we do. We're dealing on 2 different drives, and it got confusing today. That one, the right-hand flop in court. I thought I did this one. Oh no, I did a different one. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this one. Sure.
More Duffy? Since it's the
More
it is
Mike.
the
It's
time
more
hour.
Mike. We should look. Come on, Duffy.
You gotta
Can't we
bash
call
him
him Mike by now?
Mike.
Mike.
Mike. The
He's
Mike
like he's
Happy
like part of the
Funtime Hour.
family.
Disco Mike.
Mike, Nigel. It's much nicer. Duffy, right? You know.
He just looks like a Duffy, though.
I like the way Wright sound
bald
like
head.
Wright is spelt the same as Stephen Wright, the comedian.
Yeah.
Not to be confused. He should start talking like Stephen Wright in court, answering the questions like. Donald Bain, lawyer for disgraced Senator Mike Duffy, wasted no time with the prosecution's star witness, Nigel Wright, this was on last Thursday. Eschewing the rote of introductory pleasantries, lawyers used to anesthetize witnesses, Bain commenced his surgical cross-examination with dispatch and a hacksaw. Within minutes, Nigel's calm self-assurance gave way to an expression of consternation. With a few moments of light-hearted relief, his furrowed brow remained fixed in place for the rest of the day. Things got a little warm, did it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how he did. I think he did really poorly.
Basically, it says the writer went on to say that it was remarkable to see how quickly and effectively Bain got under Wright's skin. Harper's former chief of staff now has one objective: survive. On Wednesday, under friendly questioning by the prosecution, Nigel cut a dashing figure in the witness stand. Expansively generous to Duffy, he allowed, and still does, the senator had a good argument that he was legally entitled to the residence allowance he had claimed. Insert, even though he didn't live there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Where was I here? I inserted something and I completely lost my place. All right. Anyhow, I saw it this way, said Nigel in testimony Wednesday. I had a caucus member I was pursuing to repay expenses and that he thought he was legally entitled to. I thought he had potential to claim by virtue of being a team player. He was taking on an expenses that he didn't think he legally owed. So out of regard for Duffy, Nigel unsuccessfully attempted to work out a deal with the Conservative Fund, the financial arm of the Conservative Party of Canada. When that avenue was closed, Nigel wrote the check himself. Basically what happened. Nigel's a wealthy man, and he delivered this tale with composure and sang-froid. In Nigel's world, writing a $90,000 check to a senator in need falls into the same category as taking young conservative interns to lunch. It's just one of those things one does for the less fortunate.
Fuck. Yeah, probably.
In what may turn out to be this trial's jump the shark moment, Nigel averred to keep his generosity quiet of religious principle, citing 2 verses of Scripture. Matthew 6, take care not to do your body deeds publicly or before men. Or do your good deeds, to do your good deeds publicly or before men. But when you give to charity, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Well, that, I think, went a little farther than writing a check.
Wow.
So you're Harper's right-hand man, and this is the verse that you quote?
That is insane. Wow.
And on the witness
Bible,
stand, under oath.
Because he's really trying to save Harper's ass.
Oh, man.
But he kind of makes himself look like a moron and makes the whole group look like morons.
Well, this is interesting. It goes on a little more. It says, all of this was a little rich for Bain, who clearly had other ideas than to indulge biblical excuses for crossing palms with 90 pieces of silver. He confronted Wright with a statement by Conservative Party lawyer Arthur Hamilton. Remember that guy? Yeah, he'll come into this little scenario much more later. Who told police that Wright, Nigel, he had been scared as a young conservative by his experience in the scandal in the Mulroney government. Wanting to do everything in his power to prevent a replay, Harper's right-hand man apparently told Hamilton that he paid Duffy because we can't lose a caucus member. The minute that happens, you're in trouble. We can't let the scandal break. Mulroney never got back on track after that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, he was just trying to save his prime minister from embarrassment, you know? Well, that's called a fucking scandal. That's called trying to cover his tracks. Of course he didn't want it to come out. They were doing things wrong, trying to cover it up. It's all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, look.
If Duffy really felt that way, he should have come out and been like, look, this was the issue. This was my problem. I didn't know I was doing it. It was a mistake. I'm sorry to the public.
I mean, and at this point, like a long time ago, Harper should have resigned, done the honorable thing, save face, and just resigned. And we took like Chrétien or Martin, they resigned, man. They got out. Right? So, well, he's done. Yeah, they went to an election, lost elections, and resigned. But so Harper's going to do the same. He should have resigned, though. But instead, he let all of his MPs resign. Yeah. All the star guys resigned. He lost all his key players instead.
Threw all the others under the bus.
And threw everybody under the bus. Took the wheels off the bus and pawned them.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, but
For
good
crack.
on that lawyer though for showing off his
Bain is
inconsistency.
sharp. He's a sharp lawyer, boy. He's not screwing around. Duffy's got himself a real good, hard-ass guy. Yeah. Oh no, he's piranha. Yeah. This guy. He's not one piranha. He's this whole school of piranha by himself. Yeah.
Good.
Badass. Him and team up. He should team up with what's his name? My buddy there, my favorite guy, Rocco Galati.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's kick some shit. I tell you, I win $33 million in that lottery. Guess who I'm hiring?
Nah.
Fucking rights.
Huh. Well,
we is going to cut shit for the government. He won't have just one lawsuit against the government, I can assure you.
Let's hope he can get Stephen Harper up there on the stand.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, it won't be Galati, but Bain, yes. Let's hope.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time. That's it for the show today. I can't believe 2 hours goes by that fast.
Oh my gosh, that did go by so fast.
No shit, eh?
May Moon says
Might have
hi,
been
Opus.
the pot brownie. Could have been the brownie.
Yeah.
May Moon's in the chat saying hi, Opus.
Hey, my boss lady. Yo, how are you? We've done our retraction and all that like we said we would. It's all legal. We're all good. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining in today, and I want to all the best to what was our winner?
Resin Girl.
Resin Girl. Why can't I remember that? I don't know because I've never seen her in the chat before.
I didn't take my bong rip.
See, I noticed.
You didn't get your bong rip. Come on over, have a bong rip, and I'll just talk a little bit before we go, and mention that yes. First of all, thanks Carly for all your help and today, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, for
sure.
How did the pot brownies treat you, by the way?
I'm feeling it. They're good.
They're good?
Yeah. No, I got a buzz on. Like, I'm not real super. Well, I had 1.5. I probably could have eaten. If I had eaten 3, I'd probably be pretty high.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah. Opus standards.
good.
Yeah, not bad though. I mean, I could probably eat 4 or 5 before I'd be like looking to lay down on the couch.
Yeah. See, it wasn't so much that I was like KO'd. I was just like, I wasn't quite that bad.
Don't drool in the bong. Things not to do.
Wow. Thank you. That was delicious.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is it? It's Monday. Wednesday, yes, Wednesday, Marijuana Man will be here from Under the Sea Desk. Don't miss his show here on Pot TV. And on Friday, I guess you're back with CCN News that's awesome. Cool. From Under the CCN News. Did I say that? Yeah, no, the brownies, I don't know.
Yeah, those brownies are working out.
Not high.
I didn't even notice.
All right. And Saturday, Redbeard. Yo, I didn't forget, see?
The Saturday beard show.
The beard show on Saturday. Glass. Hot.
Beard. Yeah.
Watch out. It's hot.
The Myrna beard.
He's on tomorrow, Myrnawana, on another network. Vapor Central.
Oh, and Sarah Hamlin. I forgot about her show today.
Yeah, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. I don't know if you're there, but I hope your show's going good. Her show's on the exact same time my show's on, in a different time zone, in a different network. How do you like that? But, we're all, not so much. Not so much.
No, we love
No,
Vapor
it's all
Central.
good. More shows.
And you can find the Sarah Hanlon show on the front page of Pod TV, but I forgot to post the teaser for it today, so I got to post that.
You're bad.
Sorry, Sarah.
All right. Must have been the brownies.
No, I was busy.
And, and we'll be back next week. So until then, don't forget, keep cultivating your freedom. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.